Hi, John Dwyer here, and I'm here for Module 3 of our WOW Manifesto Client Attraction System, and hopefully you've enjoyed the first two modules. This one is really important. As I said at the end of Module 2, this is really probably the most important module in terms of putting together a marketing campaign, a marketing plan for your products or services, because it's all about taking their eyes off the price. Now, wouldn't that be wonderful if you could sell your products or your services without ever having to consider price discounting? And if I asked, 10 business owners what was their first port of call when they had a dip in sales, they would probably say, we just dropped the price. And you don't want to do that. The last thing you want to do is keep on dropping your price. What you want to do is maintain your margin and simply turn whatever you were going to consider dropping your price, whether it be 10% or 20%, that's fine. Just turn that into a value add. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Turn it into a wow factor value add. So let me just go through what creating a wow is all about. Number one, as I said, is to take their eyes off the price. I'm just referring to my laptop here if you don't mind. Number two, the whole idea is that you want to break through the clutter of about 3,000 advertising messages that we're all subjected to every day. And I've got to read these out to you because it's sometimes a little bit of a shock when I read this out. This is what we are subjected to over daytime. We're talking about TV, pay TV, freeway signage. We're talking about AM radio, FM radio. We're talking about emails, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, direct mail, and the list goes on. We are subjected to so much advertising these days that if you're just marketing on price, then good luck to break through all that clutter. What you want to do is what McDonald's have done with their Happy Meal. They've put a free toy in that Happy Meal for about the last 30 or 40 years. And guess what? There's a lot of parents and grandparents out there who will buy a Happy Meal to keep the grandkids or the children quiet, and they couldn't tell you what a Happy Meal cost. They didn't care. The free Disney toy inside the Happy Meal just kept the kids quiet in the back of the car. So they do the drive-through, give me 3 Happy Meals, I don't care what they cost, and then keep the kids quiet in the back of the car. So that's the mentality that we're talking about here. It's exactly what McDonald's have done, whereby they've taken our eyes off the price onto the free toy. Now, I want to also highlight to you that what a wow factor does is immediately catapults you to being the un of your industry. And the reason is because no one else does this. No one else does this, okay? Less than 5% of all businesses in the world use direct response marketing tactics, let alone wow factor on top of that. So what my expertise is, I guess, is creating a model for you to borrow, to swipe if you like. That's what this 12-week program is all about, which is a direct response marketing model. And I'm not saying for a moment that I'm the only one in the world that pushes direct response, but I certainly am the only one in the world that pushes direct response with a wow factor mentality. And this is what this wow factor module is all about, showing you how you can put the wow factor on top of direct response marketing and how you can turn that to your advantage. Okay, the best example of this that I could come up with is Domino's 1973 on-time delivery campaign. Now, can you remember back in the 70s that every pizza chain was pretty much the same, and then, Domino's came along and they said, listen, when you order a pizza from us, it'll be delivered within 30 minutes or it is free. It just catapulted them, okay, ahead of all the other pizza companies that were around at the time. It just skyrocketed their sales because it was a wow factor. They said that if you order a pizza through us, we will deliver it to you within 30 minutes, otherwise it's free. Where would you get your pizza? Where else would you get your pizza? Of course you wouldn't get it from anywhere. Whenever we order a pizza, we normally order it when we're hungry. So if you're guaranteed that you're going to get it within 30 minutes, otherwise you won't pay for it, I think there's a good chance you'd order your pizzas through those. And on my laptop here, I've got some other examples. In Australia, Harvey Norman, which is a big electronics and I guess electronics white goods retailer, they have a campaign that they've been running now for quite a number of years, and it's 2 years interest free. So they're attracting a working class audience, and they're saying, look, if you don't have the money for the washing machine or for the computer or the refrigerator, just come in, we'll give you the finance, and it's 2 years interest free. Now that creates a stampede into their business and created an absolute point of difference for their retail chain. The Greater Building Society. I looked after, providing marketing consultancy to them for about a dozen years, and I took their home loan business to the stratosphere by simply stopping the 1% honeymoon rate, which is what every bank offered on home loans, and just turning that into a wow factor bonus. And the wow factor bonus was get a home loan from the Greater, get a free holiday. Now, if you look through the written blueprint that comes with, module 3, so therefore you can download that and do that, please, after you watch this video. Then you can see all of the examples of the advertising that I did for the Greater Building Society. But when I came along, they were having a home loan that would, let's say for argument's sake, was 5.5% at the time, and they would give away 1% honeymoon rate and give you the home loan for 4.5%. And then when 12 months came up, it went back up to the 5.5%. So that was their big, attraction. That was their incentive. And I said, look, every bank's doing that. Same as lame. I mean, goodness me, every bank's doing it. So they said, well, what do we do? I said, look, if you're prepared to give up 1%, just turn that 1% into a free vacation. Now, in America, you call them vacations. In Australia, we call them holidays. So the campaign hit TV and it hit online, it hit newspapers and magazines, all the usual thing. And we said, get a home loan, get a free holiday. In other words, get a free vacation. And based on the size of their home loan, obviously dictated where they would go on their holiday. There were 200 destinations all around the world. So therefore, if you got a $400,000 home loan, you may have gone to Fiji. If you got a $700,000 home loan, you might have gone to Disneyland. Okay, so depending upon the size of your home loan, that dictated what sort of holiday or vacation you could take. Guess what? When we launched this on television and other media, in the first 3 months, they doubled their home loans. We're not talking like a 10 or 11% lift, which if anyone gets that, they feel pretty happy about themselves. We're talking about doubling. They doubled their home loans. And I wish I was charging a percentage of the home loans rather than a consultancy fee at the time, because I wouldn't have gone to Fiji. I think I would have bought Fiji. This thing just went whooshka. And all it was using the 1% honeymoon rate that they were giving away and transferring that into a free holiday. So for example, if you borrowed, let's say $100,000, a 1% honeymoon rate would be $1,000 that you got off on that first year. If it was a $200,000 loan, that's $2,000. We just gave that $2,000 to a wholesale travel company who gave a good rate on that holiday, and that was it. It was cost neutral. It didn't cost the Building Society any more money to transfer their discount into a wow factor bonus. And that's what you might like to think about. Let me give you another example, just a hair salon. If a hair salon today put a sign outside their bricks and mortar hair salon and said 10% off, do you think there'd be any women bashing the door down to get in there? Oh, 10% off? No. Groupon, the coupon people would give 50% off. So why would 10% ever work? However, let me show you how 10% off for your business can blitz anything that Groupon could offer. Can you imagine if that hair salon said, look, for every $50 that you spend, Mrs. Smith, with me, I'm going to give you a movie point, a cinema movie point. You know, when you go to the picture theatre, okay? A cinema movie point for every $50. When you get 6 movie points, which meant, of course, that you've spent 6 times $50, we're going to give you 2 $15 tickets to the cinema. 2 $15 tickets to the cinema is $30. $30 of the $300 that she has spent to get her 6 points is 10%. Now, do you think when Mrs. Smith has got $150 or $200 worth of points, which would be 3 or 4 points in that program, she's going to get her hair done anywhere else? I don't think so. So it's all about creating a wow factor, not just to get their interest in the first place and create a warm prospect, but also to keep them sticky, to keep them loyal to you and to your products or services. Now imagine, a scenario for a lawn mowing guy. Let's just say, this guy's got a lawn mowing business and he mows your lawns, every 10 days or every fortnight. And that's what he does. He just comes and mows the lawn and gets his whippersnapper out and does the edges, and happy days. But imagine if he said to you, look, I tell you what, absolutely free bonus from now on. Every time I come and do your lawns, I'm going to clean your house windows. And he has a little squeegee, he's got one of those squeegee things that you clean windows with, but he's got a bucket with some soap suds or windows, whatever you do. I haven't cleaned windows lately, but whatever you clean windows with in terms of the detergent. And when he's finished lawn mowing, he just simply gets his bucket and his soap suds and his little squeegee thing, and off he goes. He just cleans your windows. Now, 2 things. Number one, that'll blow your mind, because all of a sudden you've got a lawn mowing guy who's value adding. He's providing you with a Happy Meal toy. Okay, he's providing you with a bonus. And number 2, that makes him stand out from every other cleaner who might ordinarily think that they can slip in underneath him by putting a leaflet in your letterbox and saying that they can do lawn mowing for $80 instead of $100. So his competitors will be completely non-existent once he does a wow factor like this. And the reason I'm confident of saying that, they will be non-existent in terms of, your radar, is because they won't do it. You see, when I was doing the get a home loan, get a free vacation for the building society, for the bank with their home loans, the management continued to say to me, oh gosh, but the barrier to entry for this is not all that hard. Any other bank can copy us. And I went, yep, that'll never happen. And they said, what? I said, it'll never happen. Because 95% of businesses out there will never, ever, ever consider wow factor direct response marketing. They won't. And so therefore, it'll never happen. Now, I couldn't guarantee that it never would, but guess what? Within 12 years of running Get a Home Loan, Get a Free Vacation, there was only one other financial institution that copied the concept. And it was a small credit union, and it was in the state of Queensland in Australia, in Rockhampton. And what they thought copied it, but they didn't do it properly. I won't bore you with the details, but they just didn't have the ingredients to make it work. So they started it up and it lasted for 4 or 5 months and they closed it down. Because it's one thing to have the wow factor idea, but it's another thing to have someone like me and now you, that you're learning all of this, to actually market that with the right ingredients. So it's all about, not just having the wow factor, but understanding the techniques and the tactics to market it effectively. But coming back to the lawn mowing guy, can you imagine, he would never lose a job, because Mrs. Smith is not going to look for a cheaper lawn mowing guy when Joe is the guy who, cleans her windows at the same time. Now, if you don't want your windows cleaned every fortnight when he comes out to mow the lawns, he may say, well, I'll clean your car. Same thing, you do not need a university degree or any special training to clean windows or to clean a car, okay? Or maybe to gurney your driveway or any number of other wow factors. The fact is that what you need to do with your business is consider, how can I create a wow factor on top of what I do already, okay? Even though you might do whatever you do at the moment very well, or your product might provide, benefits very well, what can you do on top of that to actually blow people's minds? That's what it's all about, okay? I must say that the other one I've got here on my laptop, I'm smiling because this is one where I'm a bit cheeky at my seminars. Go figure, you wouldn't figure that, would you? I'm a bit cheeky at my seminars, and when I'm doing a seminar, it's normally at a hotel or a resort. And I will say to the 80, 100, 120 business owners in the room, oh, look, I stayed at this hotel. I'm telling a white lie here, by the way. That's what I do from stage. It's just, to get the message across and have a bit of fun. And I'll say to all the business owners and managers in the room, look, when I stayed here last night, there was a knock on my door after I checked in, about 5 minutes after I checked in, and there's a person from the hotel, staff member dressed up in their uniform with a beautiful tray of cut up strawberries and chocolate warm fondue. And basically they say, look, thank you, Mr. Dwyer. You could have chosen any hotel to stay in, but you've chosen ours. Let's just say it was Sydney, Australia. So thank you for coming to our hotel. You could have chosen hundreds of hotels in Sydney, but you chose our hotel. So we'd like to gift you and your wife with this, chocolate strawberry fondue. Can you imagine? I say to people, like, it blew me away. I took it in, and fortunately my wife was having a shower at the time, so I ate all the strawberries with the chocolate fondue. When she came out of the shower and said, who was at the door? No one? No one? No, who thought? I think it was just someone got the wrong room, as I've got chocolate dripping from my mouth. But the point is, I then say to everyone, and you know what I'm talking about, if you're here in Australia, there's a chain called Max Brenner Chocolates, and they charge about $17 for this, by the way. It's crazy, but it's just basically strawberries that you actually put a little toothpick in and you put them into the warm chocolate fondue, and it's just crazy. It's to die for, okay? I got the costings on doing this. It would be about $1.50 to $2 that it would cost that hotel. So therefore, if I'm staying in that hotel and I'm spending $250 or $300 or $350 a night, I think they could afford $1.50 on some strawberries and some warm chocolate. And so I tell everyone in the room, that's what happened to me last night, and everyone goes, wow. I said, well, can you imagine if you were ever in that city, where would you stay? Would a price come into consideration? No, you'd be saying, I'm staying at the chocolate strawberry hotel. And I say, well, who else stayed here last night? Because a whole bunch of people fly in for my events. I'm so popular. And you'll get quite a number of people put their hand up and say, look, I've come in from interstate and I stayed at the hotel last night. And I go, well, what did you think of that wow factor? Keep in mind I made it up. And they go, we never got it. We didn't get any strawberries or chocolate. And then I come clean and go, no, because that was just all bullshit. That was BS. I just made that up. And I made it up to get the message across that most businesses, including hotels and resorts, are run by people who just don't get it, okay? They just don't get this wow factor thing. And I say to everyone, can you imagine if that really happened? That 5 minutes after check-in, when you went to your room, there's a knock at the door and a tray of chocolate strawberries, strawberries with chocolate fondue. Can you imagine if that would blow you away and would mean that you would stay at that hotel forever? And they all say yes. And guess what? That would have cost the hotel $1.50 or $2. They're getting $300, $350 for the room, maybe $500 for the room if it's a busy period. So therefore, really think about this for your business. And I really do urge you to go to the blueprint and download the blueprint. This is a particular big module. So there's quite a number of pages to this, and you'll see a whole bunch of graphics and demonstrating the wow factor for a whole host of industries. Just think about how you can push the envelope further, how you can go the extra mile. What other cliches can I come up with? Go the extra mile, push the envelope. But yes, just think about how you can take their eyes off the price. That's what you want to do. The last thing you want to do is actually keep on dropping your pants and losing margin. What you want to do is to maintain margin. Now, don't think for a moment that if you're in a prestigious business that this wouldn't work for you, because you might be sitting there thinking, oh, well, that's great, but McDonald's with Happy Meals and things like that, and with the electronics store, but that happens to be working class. I'm a prestigious brand. I couldn't stoop to that level. How could I do that? Yes, you can. A lot of people think direct response marketing is the infomercials on morning TV. No. Take the Palazzo Versace, very high-end Italian-themed hotel or resort on the Gold Coast in Australia. Now, we're talking 6 or 7 star hotel here. So think of anything in Vegas that's in that sort of particular realm of 5 or 6 or 7 star hotel, and this thing's up there with them. It's called the Palazzo Versace Hotel. It's on the Gold Coast, which is the holiday capital or vacation capital of Australia, and everything's marble. Everything's marble and everything's chandeliers. Now the fact is, you might pay $500 or $600 or $700 a night, maybe $800 or $1,000 a night, depending upon what suite you book in this hotel. But guess what they do in winter time? Yes, they drop their pants. And in winter time, because they're wanting to get people to come to the holiday capital, they will tell people in southern states of Australia, look, fly up from the cold weather in Sydney and Melbourne and enjoy a warmer weather on the Gold Coast at the Palazzo Versace 6-star hotel, and we will drop our price to this. That's not what they should be doing. What do you think that does to their brand persona? Takes them from the penthouse to the shit house in like 2 seconds. Okay, you don't want to do that to your brand. They should maintain their price, decide what discount they're willing to give away. In other words, decide what the cost of acquiring a customer would be and transfer that to a value add. And you might go, well, like what? I'll tell you like what, is that when they fly into the Gold Coast airport, there would be a Rolls Royce from the Palazzo Versace to pick you up. Now, they have 2 or 3 or 4 of these Rolls Royces that have got Palazzo Versace number plates sitting outside their hotel all the time. Normally it's for Neil Diamond, or it's for, Rod Stewart, or one of the, very well-known celebrities that might stay there. But hey, open up those Rolls Royces or hire some others and pick people up from the airport when they fly up from Sydney or Melbourne. So that's a complimentary service that would blow anyone away. Imagine getting picked up by a Rolls Royce, for God's sake. Why not? It's just sitting in the Palazzo Versace car park doing nothing anyway. And then also give them a free butler service for the weekend. So therefore you would have 2 or 3 butlers, and therefore, the part of the deal would be you can, pick up the phone and have a butler do whatever you need to do over that 2-day period. You'd use him once or twice or 3 times and then probably get sick of it. And then furthermore, you'd give them free theme park tickets. Now, the Gold Coast is like Orlando in America. It's the home of all the theme parks, Dream World and Movie World. You'd give them complimentary tickets into the theme parks, or you might give them complimentary tickets to the casino show. Okay, might be a big show at the casino. Whatever it is, take whatever was going to be the discount for the Palazzo Versace and turn it into upmarket wow factor bonuses. Do you notice that wow factor bonus still falls under direct response marketing, but it suits that particular upmarket brand? So it's easy to just simply theme or tone your wow factor to suit your products or your services. Hope you have enjoyed this, and again, please download the blueprint and make sure that you just digest that, because there's a stack more samples in that blueprint that you can actually swipe and use for your business. Look forward to seeing you in Module 4 coming up next week. See you then.